Okay, guys, so my husband said he wanted tuna melts for dinner. And I'm like, I can do tuna melts. That's so easy. Made my life easy. So I was going to make oven-baked Parmesan chicken, but I'll make it tomorrow. And tonight I'll make tuna melts. So I ran out real quick to the bakery and I got a nice loaf of rye bread to make the tuna melts. And it's sliced perfectly. So I'm going to take the biggest slices. I dumped the whole loaf out so I can get the biggest slices out. And I'm going to toast them up first. And while they're toasting, I'm going to get the tuna together. Yeah, dinner's going to be easy tonight. So let me get started. Okay, so the bread that we like to use for tuna melts, the best, is rye bread or a pumpernickel rye. Either or, but you can use any bread. But we just like the flavor of the rye with the tuna melt and then the melted cheese on top. So good. But I toast it first, and I don't put butter or anything on it, like on a griddle like you would get at a diner. I just toast it in the toaster oven because you don't want it to get soggy and you want it to hold up to a nice heaping pile of tuna on top. So I'm going to toast the slices and then I'll assemble the tuna melts. Okay, guys, so I just finished toasting the bread. Oops, sorry. Nice and toasty. That's what you want. So now I'm going to lay it on a baking sheet. And now I'm going to make the actual tuna. So to me, the most important thing when you're making a tuna melt, especially, if you want the bread to be still crispy when you bite into it, make sure you drain the tuna really, really well. So I empty all the tuna cans into one of these strainer things. And I just let it sit while I'm getting everything else ready. Or I just squeeze the heck out of it with my hands, which is what I did tonight. And now it's like really dry and like super flaky. Perfect. So once you drain your tuna, just let it sit on the side there while you're chopping everything else in case there's any more liquid that wants to drain. So everyone makes their tuna differently. What I like in my tuna is red onion, a little scallion, lots of celery, black pepper, Hellmann's olive oil, mayonnaise, lots of parsley, and that's it. So I'm going to start chopping up the celery and the onion. I'm going to do about half of this onion. I don't want all that. Okay. And I'll save the rest of this, for later. Oh, and hello, the most important part of a tuna melt is the cheese. So a classic American tuna melt has American cheese on it. So here I have yellow American and white American. They taste exactly the same, but my kids are like, no, it's not orange. I don't want to eat it. They want the yellow American cheese. I'm like, okay, because I guess that's what you see on cheeseburgers and stuff. So to them, that's what tastes better. But I can tell you they taste exactly the same. This is Land O'Lakes cheese. This is our favorite American cheese in the whole world. We've tried everything from, I don't know, like say Boar's Head. We've tried like the Kraft singles, the ones that you don't even need to refrigerate. This is the best cheese. Land O'Lakes is the absolute best American cheese. I like other brands for other cheeses, but for American, this is the best one. And they don't carry it at all stores either. Not all stores carry it. There's a couple grocery stores in our area that do not have this cheese. Okay, so for this, I'm just going to put a little bit of red onion. And I'm going to cut it as small as I can. So this is about 1/4 of a medium red onion, small red onion. But we're doing like 5 or 6 stalks of celery. So this is just to give it a little bit of flavor. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to take my tuna, dump it in there like that, break it up. It's already pretty broken up. If it's not broken up, just take a fork and break it up, or your hands, whatever you want to do. Okay. I'm going to add the red onion in there. Okay. Now, I'm going to cut the scallion. Okay, put that in the bowl. And now I'm going to cut the celery. I'm going to get a bigger knife for that. All right. Okay, so all right. Okay, so we got the celery. Okay, so we have the onion, the scallion, the celery, and the tuna in here. And now I'm going to add parsley, just like that. We're going to do some black pepper, just like that. We're going to do a little bit of salt, just like that. And now for the mayonnaise. Now, what I like to do is put a little bit of mayonnaise at a time and mix it, because it's happened way too many times that I scoop. It looks like there's a lot in here and you scoop a ton of mayo and then it's like too mayonnaise-y. So I put like that much. And then I take my fork and I just start mushing it in. And then I see if I need more. So it's a little dry. I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay. And then you're going to give it a taste and see if it's to your liking. If you want to add some more, you add more. Mmm. That's perfect. Doesn't need anything. Awesome. Okay. So now let's assemble these tuna melts. So something you can add to the tuna to give it a little bit more fiber and nutrition and stuff and bulk it up a little bit is white beans, like a white bean tuna salad. And you don't even taste the beans. All you're going to taste is the cheese and the celery and all that. And it gives it nutrition. It bulks it up. It stretches the tuna out, so it's budget friendly. And and you don't see them really, because once you smush it in, you don't even see the white beans. And sometimes it's a good way to sneak like beans into your kids if they love tuna melts, but they say they don't like beans. I don't have any white beans right now. If not, I would be putting them in here and mushing them in. But anyway, okay, so let's assemble these tuna melts. I am going to bring you over here. Okay. Because I'm going to assemble these and then I'm going to put them in the oven under the broiler to melt the cheese. Do it like this. Sometimes you just need to press it down with your fingers to make sure it's on there nice and stable. All right. Okay. Moving on to the next one. Okay guys, so these are all assembled. There's 5 large slices of rye, and I had 4 5-ounce cans of tuna, 6 stalks of celery, a quarter of a red onion, and that quantity, and 1 scallion, but that doesn't really add much volume. And that quantity used up this entire big bowl of tuna. And I put a good healthy portion of tuna on these slices of bread. There's a good amount of tuna on there, and I pressed it down to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. So now what I'm going to do, I am going to take the American cheese and I'm going to put it right on top just like this. And then just like that. Again, these cheeses are the same, but one is white and one is yellow. They call it yellow American, but really it's orange, so I don't know why they call it yellow. This is going to go in the oven on broil just for a few minutes, because all you want to do is melt the cheese. So maybe 4 or 5 minutes max under the broiler. And I'm going to put the rack maybe about 6 inches from the broiler, and it's going to be on broil low if you have those options in your oven. Okay, Or you can put it, you know what? If you're only making a small amount for you or maybe 2 people and you only have 1 or 2 or 3 pieces, you can put it right back in your toaster oven and toast it up in there, melt it in there. But I don't feel like making 2 and then going back and making another. We want to all eat together. So I'm putting it in the toaster oven on broil, and that'll work perfect. So while the tuna melts are in the oven melting, I'm getting whatever we're having on the side ready. So we're going to serve the tuna melts with some strawberries and some juicy orange slices. Now, this is something that you might know already, but I didn't know this until well into my adulthood. You know, like if you go eat at a Chinese restaurant and then they bring out, well, I don't know where you live, but around here, if you go eat at a restaurant, a Chinese restaurant or a Korean restaurant, a lot of times at the end, they bring out a plate at a Chinese restaurant with like fortune cookies or orange slices and fortune cookies. Even some Japanese restaurants do that. And the slices are not like big orange wedges like you normally see, that people cut them like that. But it's like these nice thin little slices, and you go like this. And it's so easy to bite off. And it literally comes off clean. No mess. No juice dripping everywhere. It just literally comes off. Look at that. That's a good orange. But anyway, so how they do that, this Korean girl I used to work with, she taught me this. She's like, oh, you know how they cut it like that? I'm like, no. And she's like, take your orange, cut one end off, cut the other end off, stand up your orange, cut it right down the middle, lay it flat, and cut your slices nice and thin. And you end up with perfect, easy orange slices that you can eat without making a mess. You don't have to sit there ripping the orange out of the flesh and getting juice everywhere. Just like that. And then you have a perfect orange slice. And you go like that. And you have perfect, look, it comes out by itself. Look at this. Look how easy that comes out. And you have perfect little orange slices. But you don't even need to peel it off with your hand. You just grab it with your teeth and it comes right out. Look at that. Easy, clean. No messy juice dripping everywhere. Look at that. Anyway, so it might seem like something silly, but for me, that was a game changer. Because I used to give my kids like big wedges of orange and they would bite into it, juice dripping everywhere. And once she showed me this, voila, game changer. Nice and neat, even, clean eating, and less waste. Because a lot of times the kids would just sit there sucking all the juice out of the orange, big wedges, and leave like the actual meat in there. But here, you do that and the piece of orange comes off right away. So you can't leave it behind even if you wanted to. Look at that. See? It just comes off. So even if you try to suck the juice off, the whole thing is coming off. So less waste. And you're getting the fiber. Yum. Anyway, thought I'd share that. And then last but not least, we are having pickles on the side too. I was going to do the dill pickles, but everybody wants sweet fire pickle chips. So they're sweet and a little bit of a kick at the end. They're really good. My mother-in-law gets these for us. All right. 1 more minute on the tuna melts. Let me start getting the plates out and cleaning this up a little bit. Okay, so I just took these out of the oven. The cheese is melted. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in half because it's just easier to handle, especially for the kids. So, hot. Try to use a serrated knife. It makes it so much easier to cut. Okay. Put the slices on the plate. Hot. All right. So, and there you have it, dinner served. So you have the tuna melt, the sweet fire pickles, some orange slices, and some strawberries. Couldn't be easier. So let's give this a taste. So you have the nice tuna, the melted cheese, and the toasted rye. Let's give it a taste. That is delicious. Delicious bite. So that, my friends, is dinner. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope I gave you an idea if tuna melt is something you've never had before. And if it is something you had, then maybe I gave you an idea with something else, how to cut the orange, or something to put in the tuna that you haven't put in there before. I don't know. Thanks for watching. And we are going to go enjoy this delicious meal. Thanks for watching. Bye.